What's up, guys? It's really crazy to see how far anime has come as someone who's been watching since like 2011 or 2012. Back then, I was pretty much just watching them on parts uploaded to YouTube. Real ones know what I'm talking about. There was just like that noticeable shift back during COVID, though, where now it feels like everyone that you kind of know kind of gave it a shot, and a lot more people are now fans from having done that. And you're finally just starting to see the effects of people finally giving it a chance and even more people just hearing word of mouth about different shows. And it's pretty crazy to see modern day how big anime has actually gotten. I remember going to see Resurrection F in theaters, and I think that came out like 2015 with some friends of mine. And it felt like such a rare like event for an anime movie to be being shown in a theater. And now, I know it probably wasn't as rare as I thought back then. Definitely still, not happening every weekend. But now it feels like there's multiple anime films being released in theaters every year, including like some regular ones like the Ghibli film festivals that just kind of, come back very periodically. And I know it's cliche to say, but like, you would be labeled a weirdo back then if you were caught liking or enjoying anime. I was pretty lucky that I had some friends of mine that independently were able to find their way to it and also enjoyed it. But as someone who like was in school, like, especially at a time where, like those grade school years where it's very easy to just be labeled like a weirdo or othered if you're doing anything that isn't, completely in the norm of what the other kids are doing. And now it's gone from that to multiple of my coworkers will be talking about, new anime episodes at the table. And it's like not weird. People are wearing anime shirts like into work even. Obviously, it'll depend on the dress code at the place you work at, but I work at a place with a more casual kind of dress code that a lot of people do that, and no one thinks it's weird at all. And I know that's not exactly weird now; like it's kind of been the norm. But I kind of just want to talk about how, like right now, even in that kind of prime of like the post COVID, it truly feels like everyone is watching anime. Like not everyone, but you know what I mean. Like most people have given some show or series a shot. And you'll still see a lot more younger people, but I definitely even see older people, parents who watch it with their kids, or even people who just have Netflix and maybe they finally just saw a preview for an anime and it interested them enough to actually go try it. And it's just very, very cool. And even One Piece has like become like a cultural kind of like phenomenon now. A show that was so long that even diehard anime fans aren't really watching it like that just because how much of a commitment it is. Even that, they had like a night with the Lakers or something. It was a collaboration night. I don't know if they gave something away, but the Lakers tweeted about it. And there was like a really cool poster with Luffy in a Lakers jersey. And it was really kind of just a surreal moment looking at that, being like, dang, like, it has gotten to this point. I mean, he's in the Macy's Day Parade with Goku. Like that's how big anime has become. I specifically want to mention Solo Leveling right now because I don't know if it is the show, but it feels like this show has also offered entry point for a lot of people. I mean, it is huge right now. It passed One Piece and I some metric on Crunchyroll. I don't even know what the exact metric was, but being able to pass that with it's about to be the end of the second season. It's really, really amazing to see. And I think that even beyond Solo Leveling, there's just been a lot of other shows that have been much bigger than I normally would have felt like they would have been. Netflix has heavily influenced this with a lot of their original content because they'll invest into the English dubs, which I think is big for a lot of people. Maybe not too much of a big deal, but I think a lot of more casual people that don't want to read subtitles or have to, do too much paying attention when they're watching TV, they enjoy the anime that release with the dub day and day, and Netflix is being able to really capitalize on that more kind of casual audience that might not even be necessarily interested in anime, but open to watching something new in that type of medium. They're even following the the week to week release schedule that you see a lot of anime do. Instead of just waiting for shows to finish and getting the whole season, they'll do that with some, but there's others that they update them week to week, even though that's not the norm of their platform. So it just goes to show how kind of committed they are, I feel like, to, embracing anime and investing further into it. Dandadan specifically, that was a show that was on Netflix. I believe it was a Netflix exclusive. Maybe I'm incorrect. But there was an article talking about how that had surpassed like multiple titles, including other popular anime, in terms of like overall watch time for the first 3 months of its release. And then they also got shows like Castlevania, Delicious in Dungeon, Baki, and others that really round out their original anime catalog. And it looks like they're going to be even investing more, as well as the other streaming services. I know Hulu has always kind of had their hand in it a little bit, but they're really kind of starting to step it up. Not to the level of Netflix quite yet, but they got the streaming rights for the Bleach Thousand Year Blood War. I know they had season 2 of Tokyo Revengers. And it looks like they've always had like just kind of a healthy library like in their content relatively for a normal streaming site. And then also Prime has just announced that they are looking to further invest into anime as well. There's no titles attached to that news, but they've also had a little bit to. I know what's it called? Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga only aired on Amazon Prime, that season 1 when it came out. I remember watching it, and it was only on Prime. That eventually changed, and now it's on other streaming services too. But they're no stranger to the anime game. I don't know if that one necessarily, lit the world on fire, but I think it's also just a different space now, because that was right before COVID happened and the quote unquote, shift in the culture. But it's just really, really cool to see all the success that this industry has been having lately. I never, ever imagined a day where anime was being sold on merchandise and, regular stores. You can find manga at like Target. That level of normalcy, I really never thought I'd see. And I think it's a combination of all those previous factors I've listed. And I don't know if a single one is necessarily responsible for it, but I just wanted to comment about it and also see if anyone else has kind of noticed this, that like even amongst like the past few years, like I said, of this like post-COVID world, I feel like this year specifically has just really stood out as like, my God, is everyone watching something right now? Whether it's not all the same show. Like I said, I feel like Solo Leveling's doing a lot of that. But I know so many people really still giving Attack on Titan a try, or getting into One Piece, or whatever it might be. People are just consuming anime at just such an unfathomable rate. And I'm so excited to see what future projects we get. That, like, imagine how much stuff is coming out. Like, if you've been watching anime for a while, you'll know that after like the first few years, like the past like 2020 to 2024, it felt like they were giving a second season to anything that had ever come out and remotely been popular. Things that never were going to see the light of day again. They're like, okay, well, apparently a bunch of people are into anime, so greenlight this now, immediately. And so many shows got season 2s that I was really glad to see from again, It definitely felt like a minute since I had last heard of it. And then, I'd go look up the release year, and they haven't had an episode since 2015. And I was like, they're getting a new season in 2021. Like, okay, I'm here for it. But yeah, anyway, let me know what you guys think. If you've been watching anime, how long, and if what you've personally may have noticed in your circle or online communities. And thank you for listening.